So this is our second try going to Valentina's. We came yesterday and it turns out they're closed on Tuesday. So today's Wednesday, we're going to Valentina's Tex-Mex barbecue. I met somebody when we were at Snow's and he swore that this was the best barbecue, or this was the best brisket. And we had Franklin's yesterday, which I'm still thinking is the best I've had this week. So we'll definitely be checking that out. We might be tempted to try some of the other stuff, but we're also going to be going to Salt Lake this afternoon. So I don't know how well we'll be able to hold back. It's a very interesting little setup. They've got a trailer that I'm guessing they do mobile barbecue. The seating's outside underneath that canopy over there. They've actually got a couple of trailers. Very, unique setup. So looking forward to trying it. Okay, so we finally got Valentina's.
Valentina's.
That was problematic. It took us 3 tries. Basically, you order online and then they give you a wait time, and it was an hour of wait time. So we said, oh well, we're just gonna go. We went to Salt Lake, and we had Salt Lake, which was great. I'm gonna make a completely different video about that.
Yes.
And then the plan was we're going to drive the hill country, and then on the way back through the hill country we would call, and then it would be ready when we got back, and then we completely forgot that plan, and we showed up and we had to order, and then we had to wait an hour. So we went shopping and whatnot, and so then we decided to just bring it back to the hotel room because you can't eat there. There's no in restaurant dining. So I wanted to just sort of wait for the moment where I opened this incredibly yummy smelling brisket in my hotel room, and as the smell of this, we bought a pound because why not? And as I unwrap this, the smell is just wafting over the room. Okay, here we go. Here is our pound of brisket. Look at that. Look at that. That is...
Oh, juicy.
That is juicy. I'll pull on it. That is perfect. I'm gonna take a bite. Is that all right?
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Now this is where the subjectiveness comes in. You're gonna love this brisket. I love this brisket. It's like, it may be the tenderest brisket that we've had. It has a slightly different flavor because of the mesquite.
Yes.
They use mesquite there versus posto. But it's super tender, and I think, based on some of the comments from some of my friends on Amazing Ribs, that some might not like it because they prefer their brisket a little firmer. But honestly, the flavor is delicious. The bark is fantastic. And I think it's that pull test that's supposed to be the match for the perfect brisket, right? That you pull on it and it comes apart if you pull it, but it stays together, right? You can hold it, right? It holds its own weight, but you pull just the slightest and that brisket comes apart.
Nice.
Right here. Well, I'll do it again.
Oh.
Isn't that sexy? You ready to have some?
Okay.
You want some? All right, let's set the camera off. Let's eat some brisket. So that took like 2 minutes, didn't it?
I did.
Okay, that was amazing.
That was amazing. That was pretty tender and delicious and luscious.
You thought it was a little peppery than others. It
Yeah.
definitely had a lot of pepper
Yes.
on the crust, but it didn't.
Strongly seasoned is the word I would use.
Strongly seasoned, yeah. So it's a mesquite flavored, or a mesquite smoke versus post-oak smoke, which gives you obviously a little bit stronger smoke flavor, which both of us like.
Yeah.
It was, to me, again, this is about the subjective nature. To me, as long as a brisket is still sliceable, then it's not too tender. Like, to me, once a brisket gets so tender that when you try to slice it, it just falls apart and you just have to make chopped meat out of it, that to me is when you've crossed from brisket into pot roast. If you like a brisket that is at that peak of perfection, in my opinion, that where it's like it can't get any more tender and still be sliced, then you will like this brisket. It is definitely the most tender while still being held together brisket that we had. Just like everywhere else, we ordered, you know, depending on where you're at, they call it the fatty brisket or the moist brisket. Here they call it the moist brisket. We ordered a pound, and we just devoured it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was
good.
That was really good. We were supposed to have salad for dinner.
Oh,
I don't think there's any room in our bodies for salad. One observation that I do think is important to understand about Valentina's is that it's on an opposite end of the spectrum from where we just came from. So we went to the Salt Lake where we had table service, and Valentina's is very much a COVID-friendly service in that you don't ever have to or get to, depending on how you look at things, interact with a human being. You order online and you show up. You're told when to show up, and when you show up, there's a paper bag with your name on it. You pick it up and you leave. You never even have to see anybody. It's a hands-free or touch-free delivery service, and that's fine. It's just make sure that you understand that'll be your expectation. You don't drive to Valentina's and then order, because if you do, you'll be sitting there in a parking lot like we were for 45 minutes to an hour. So what we decided to do was we just, so we didn't know this was the case, we left and ran some errands, and then they called us in about a half hour. We were told an hour. They called us in about a half hour and said that it could be made ready sooner, and we came back sooner and we got our food sooner. I just think it's important to understand, to set that as an expectation. But the brisket was amazing. It's getting harder and harder as the week goes on to pick a favorite. But that is, I really liked Franklin's presentation yesterday. I think my lovely camera person, if I had to guess, would this be your favorite now?
I don't know. I really like Salt Lake. And
you really like the Salt Lake?
This is a close one.
Really? You really like the Salt Lake?
Well, this is a lot peppery than what I
it's a little too
enjoy.
Yeah, you object more to the strongness of some of the seasonings.
I prefer
the milder seasoning.
No, and I like the general flavor of meat more. I don't like a lot of stuff on it. I like it.
Yeah. So that's why you lean more towards the Salt Lake then.
Yes.
Yeah. And whereas me, I wouldn't put the Salt Lake in my top 3 at all.
Right.
So it's going to be about what you want, right?
Exactly.
If you want a much, like a smoke forward, meat forward, not too much on the salt and pepper, Salt Lake, right? Or the first place we went, which was Heim. Heim was also really good in that same category. If you like that strong bark with pepper and salt, then this place, if you like more tender or a little bit less tender, Franklin's. Right. Or Killen's, I think, is right in the middle between all of those. But anyways, it was an amazing brisket. I can't believe how quickly we ate it. But I hope you get a chance to check it out.